show me the cute pictures of my got a big old grin on his face.
Hello there, and welcome to the Golf Club. My name is John, and I'm excited. I'm excited for you today. This isn't looking positive.
Yeesh.
To save par. All right, let's keep going.
That should be a birdie hole.
And after the first hole of this campaign, even par. Okay, it's time to send this ball on its way. It's looking good.
Anybody's watching or curious, we're gonna start at 8 o'clock like usual.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Just letting people get
It's
into the stream
deep
before
stuff
we
for
actually
you.
start.
Okay, you're on the green. That's about it. This one's for birdie. Little 5-footer here, nothing too scary. Nice, that'll work for par. And with that, you will stay at even par. Coming off a par on the last one. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can save par on this putt. Oh, I wish those putts would just drop sometimes.
I don't think I'm used to the new patch yet.
All right, but a 3-footer here. Thank goodness you dropped that one. There's your bogey. 1 over for the round. 4th hole coming up. Take your best shot.
For anyone who's joining is curious, we are starting at 8 regular time. Just killing some time until then. Trying to figure out this new patch. I'm terrible. Seems a lot smoother, so I'll have to get used to that.
Oops. Okay, this is very deep in the rough. So you might want to swap that club. Okay, back onto the fairway. Now let's see about hitting that green. Okay, let's see if you can save par here. Oh, it was so close. All right, nice little 2-foot putt. All right, let's see how this adds up. 2 over for the round. Let's put this ball down in the fairway.
How we doing, Scarpacci? Hello. We're gonna start here in just a couple minutes. I'm just killing some time.
Looks like you'll be in the short stuff here.
I've been trying to figure out how to start the
Okay,
last couple of days
180
because
yards for the pin here.
I like to give people some time to actually get in here. How we doing? Whoa, what in the world?
I think this is heading for the rough.
I don't really know what happened there. I actually don't know you by your Twitch name. Who are you? What did I say? Oh yeah, yeah. Not bad is much better than other things. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll see if anybody else joins in. I think most of the watches are coming from YouTube anyway, so not too concerned about that. Tonight we are going to talk about aprons, fairway aprons, which can seem like a pretty dull subject. But there's a whole lot of different things you can do about it. I think depending on the apron you have, the leading up to the green can give you quite a bit of character on your course. And tonight I'm going to demonstrate that a couple times. Have not gotten set up, so bear with me here real quick. I'm going to create 4 incredibly similar greens. And then we're going to design some very different looking holes with the exact same green. I think the reason why I'm talking about this is I think a lot of people focus so much on the drive and what's happening on the drive that they don't focus on the approach into the green as much. And I think that it can add a lot of character to what you're doing. Not only that, but it can be hard to come up with hole ideas over time. And by starting backwards with the green and working towards the fairway, you can come up with some different ideas to present your different hole layouts. So that's what we'll talk about tonight, and then I'll move into speed design a little later on. That's too close. I kind of looked all around for it because I don't know if there's a proper term for it. I don't think apron is really the correct term that I want to be using here. What I would, all I'm really talking about is the area that leads up to the green, or just the fairway area surrounding the green. We're gonna make a incredibly basic green, just a simple oval shape going back. Something boring, just so it's easier to work with. And what we're going to do is with this incredibly boring shape, we're going to make 4 very distinct greens from it with different advantages and ways to play it. And then I'm going to make the fairway approach to it just so we can see some different looks. So I know this is kind of this is more golf philosophy than it really is using tools in the designer, but I do think it's helpful. You may hear my son every now and then throughout the broadcast. He is 2 feet away from it. Yeah, I keep calling it the neck of the fairway. I don't really have a good thing to call it, but the first one I'm going to do over here is just going to be kind of a basic one. A rule of thumb is you want the fairway to kind of curl and mesh well with the green. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to draw this with the measurement tool just to kind of see what it is, and then I can add it later. Yeah, I'm going to try to do both as we go. I mean, no point in doing or ignoring one side or the other. Honestly, when it comes to golf architecture, I really don't know that much. I've been learning since I've been playing the game. So this, I think, is the standard lead up. You've got the fairway leading up to the green. You can probably do a ring of fairway, the collar around the green here. But this is very standard. The thing I wanted to talk about that I wanted to make sure you're avoiding if you are, or as you are running your fairway up to your green, is to make sure that the curves leading into your green look incredibly smooth and not abrupt. So if you were doing a golf course like this in real life, the transition here from fairway to green looks very abrupt. This is not a very smooth, natural change. It's a sharp corner. So to smooth it out, you just want to transition it this way. Just keep adding a little bit of a cut, and you now have a very smooth transition into your green, which looks much better than this abrupt transition. So this is very basic. This is probably something that a lot of people do. You just find whatever corners of your green there are and lead the fairway up to it. However, that can be boring, so if you want to spice it up a little bit, something that I don't think a lot of people think about is making this this run up or neck, narrow it. Make it extremely narrow. That way you can place a good front bunker guarding the green. And I'll show you here what I mean. So in the last one, we were running our neck here. And in this case, we can instead let it carry this way. It's probably a little more pronounced than I want it to be, but when you kick the neck up off to the side, you can then run a front side bunker right here, as well as one on the side. So this is just a little bit more personality than what we would have here, with 2 bunkers on this side that honestly really won't come into play very much. So that's something else we can do. Something else you guys may want to think of is to actually make the apron huge. This is something that Taste does in a lot of his courses. If you haven't played Tastes, that's again probably a little wide, but make the fairway kick off to the side here. And then keep it rough on this side. The advantages of this is you now have a different playing surface for the golfer to play with. We could raise this green so that any balls that fall short over here or run long, instead of just sitting in the rough and still remaining close to the pin, they can now have a runoff area down here. Not necessarily more difficult, just something a little different for the golfer to have to deal with. So this is again something else that you can play with. Again, we have the exact same green, and we are having different fairway aprons for each one. The last one that I'm going to talk about is similar to this one. Rather than having fairway leading up to your green, you can either have deep rough or even light rough. A lot of aprons leading up to the green, run up to the green, are cut a little longer than the fairway, just to make it a little bit more difficult shot, but not quite light rough. You can kind of simulate this by putting light rough leading up to your fairway instead. And then especially for long carries and back pin positions, put in a fairway runoff like Scarpacci was talking about. Again, this is usually with an elevated green leading to an elevated runoff going back this direction with the hill. So again, like I said, that is 4 distinct greens, each with different character to it. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of times people focus on this part of the course. Like say we're starting the tee box here, people focus on this area when you can add a lot of character just by changing up what you're doing around the green. Simple, but I do think it can, I don't know, give your course some character. Especially if you are going to do this type here, or, yeah, mostly this type, or this type. Try to keep it consistent. Just a lot of courses, they have tendencies, so I don't know, even if you mostly experiment with this or experiment with this, make sure you know how to do all types just so you can broaden your horizons as a designer and expand your skill set. So I think that was all I was going to have. Tonight was going to be kind of a short episode anyways, so I was going to jump into speed design. I was going to redo something that I did 2 weeks ago. Antonio, you still there? Scarpacci, you still there? Also, before I jump into speed design, if anybody has any questions they'd like me to go over, let me know. Yeah, hey, Scarpacci, I completely deleted that island green one that you made. I don't know if you saw last week. I saw you jumped out of the beginning last week, but 2 weeks ago, that island green I completely forgot to save. So I've got to redo that one tonight. The bridge and everything. Yeah, yeah. At least it's recorded for posterity's sake, so people know I actually did it. But all right, yeah, the whole thing. I don't even really remember what it looked like. I can probably bring up the video just so I can kind of mimic it. But I'm gonna basically repeat it tonight and just see what I can come up with. Okay, so that's it for that. Yeah, I can. I didn't really want to do it while doing the stream just because I wanted to... It was going to take time to watch it and do it, and I'm limiting myself to 15 minutes, so... let's hope that I actually saved what I did last week. I left space for my 4th hole so that I could do it. And I think if I remember last week, I had... it's a green with pot bunkers... It's going to be a terrible hodgepodge of courses. Yeah, so we've got 3rd hole extending back this way, so 4th hole is going to wrap back around and reach back into the lake here. If I remember right, the island green was somewhere around here. Is that right, Antonio? You missed all the apron talk. Yeah, it did. I actually didn't have it. So I work retail, and today we got over 75 calls alone for Eclipse glasses, and we haven't carried them since the thing started. But I'm not kidding you. Every time the phone rang, it was, "Do you have Eclipse glasses? Do you have Eclipse glasses?" We only had one person in the building who had some, so I went outside and got to see him for a second. I kept joking with my wife that I was going to stare right into it, and she told me she wasn't going to take care of me if I went blind. So, incredibly supportive. I really appreciated it. It's kind of my own fault, though. Okay, so I have a request for a short par 3. I'm going to recreate what I did 2 weeks ago on a hole that I lost. For anybody that doesn't know, for anybody that does not know, this is speed design, so I'm going to be creating a par 3 in just 15 minutes. So we'll probably start at the 21:30 mark. I'm creating a 9-hole course out of this, par 3. At the end, I'm going to have a... At the end, I'm going to have a 10th episode where I have 30 minutes to go back and fix anything on the previous ones. I have issues with pretty much every hole I've done so far. These are not sculpted. It's there's some issues. So yeah, like I said, 21:30. What we're going to be doing is a island green here in the middle of this lake, and it's going to be a short one. We'll call it 120 or 130 this time, I think. So, without further ado, 2, 1, go. Let's see, 21:30, so we're going to 36:30 if my math's right. When was the last time that it happened? Wasn't it, I think in like 1979 that we had one like this? I don't know, not to get too philosophical, but it's kind of ridiculous that I don't know, there's these objects out there that are just moving independently of us. Like, I don't know, I felt kind of small today. Yeah, no, it really does. As well it should, too, I think. No, it really is. I mean, it really makes, I don't know, I'm in America, I'm not sure where everybody else is at. I think most everybody here is North America, but it makes it seem... I'm still waiting for somebody to bring up a retaining wall. Nothing so far. I don't know, it just kind of makes everything seem really petty, what we're going through here in America. Like, are our problems really that bad? I can do it. I can do it. I don't know if it's going to look good, but I can do one. What's he losing his shit about? No, it's really true though. Like if you're gonna do a retaining wall, like it needs to look good and take time, like short chunks. I've been experimenting with one of the walls, like digging it into the ground, and it's driving me crazy because like the shortest wall isn't short enough to make the curve look as good as it could look. Is that going to be a solar one, or is that going to be a lunar one? Just for the curious, by the way, I usually make my greens somewhere in the 25 by 40 range. And because this is a shorter par 3, I'm shortening it, so maybe give that a little more difficulty. Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised. It was a lot of time since the last one, so I was a little surprised that I think my audio's gone out. Can everybody still hear me? Oh, okay. Suddenly, for some reason, my earbuds just cut out. He desperately wants me to pay attention. Let's see, what's today? 21st. We officially have 10 days left. Been pretty happy with what came out so far. There's been a couple of people who I didn't really know them going into the contest. Like I'd seen like a little bit of work, but I don't play a whole lot, so but I've been a little surprised with what's come out so far. Every year there's a couple duds. I don't know if we're gonna have some, but I'm just hoping everybody finishes. Or at least we get as many as possible. I haven't tried his yet. I saw from the pictures it looked pretty good, but you can make a lot look good in pictures. So did you played it already? It looks pretty good. Just from the picture, his bunker work looked a lot better. Griff, you said you were going to start those playthroughs this week. Do I remember that right? Yeah, with the planting, mine, I stopped planting completely because I couldn't get through the course. Oh, that's right. I saw your comment. He did like a catwalk or something that was really good. I think this apron back here is too big. Wouldn't have done it this big if I had taken more time. This is large. This curve's a little off. That looks fine. Yeah, that's a little wonky. I don't know why I needed that big of a apron back there. Okay. Oh, that was one of my early favorites. That railroad was incredibly impressive. Okay, am I going to 36? 30? Because if so, I am... Well, see, so I started doing this a couple weeks ago already. So like this is a repeat of something. I'm trying to basically recreate something. It's already a little off, but what I'm gonna do is have just a single bridge connecting over here, and then the bridge will come back, and you'll actually play the whole 5T going this way. I don't know what the challenge is going to be for that yet, but the whole 5T will be out here, and it'll extend this way back across the lake. So. Okay, that's actually not bad though. Let's see. I'm just ready for it to get going. I love contests. I published way too early. Can't remember which bridge I used last time. Let's see. Thanks, it was a lot of fun. I think if I can give my own course a critique. I think what's going to hold it back is it's a little. There's just not a lot to it. It's well done. It's kind of boring. There's not a whole lot to look at. I love the bunker style that I did. But other than that, there's just not much to look at. There, like if you compare it to Sam's Mandolin. There's something going on everywhere. D-Dogs has a lot going on. Matt, you and I are kind of in the same boat. Like, we did a great job. You have that beautiful bridge on 16, 17? I don't remember what it was. That was beautiful. But we had kind of similar courses. Okay, I've got 5 minutes, 30 seconds. I still have to sculpt. Bring the trees back up. I did have a willow that I wanted to include back here. So I need to get a spot for that. Well, it was a signature hole, though. It was the pylons underneath that I thought made it a little more creative than usual. Okay, let's see. Get a willow back there. I love these willow trees. I use them too much. Gotta get faster in this designer. Yellow, orange, yellow, orange. My wife says yellow. Wife says yellow. Sorry. I know where my bread's buttered. And she beat you to it. Hey, that's cool. You don't like your willows fat? Did you guys catch that new movie out, Constipation? Oh, that's right, it hasn't come out yet. Sorry, I forgot about that. I think there is, Griff, I think there is a, how do I want to say this? I think, see, they're all laughing. My wife doesn't think it's a funny joke. I think it's freaking hilarious. I think, I honestly don't know what Tricked Up really is anymore. I mean, you got to find a way to add difficulty into the game anyways. I think people are just going to complain about anything. I don't know, like, it really depends on, I don't know how to say what I want to say, but I'm just kind of tired of the Tricked Up narrative. A birch tree in front of the green. Do you remember what side? Oh, ha, I know what you're talking about. Last time I put the trees up at the very end and there was a birch tree right here. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, oh, I need to sculpt. Crap. I want this a little higher. Got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I haven't played Rasputin yet, but I mean, how wide did you set them? That's the one piece of advice that I don't know if it's Andrea or Andrea, I think it's Andrea, gave me about my courses, that he felt like the entire thing was a putting competition because the fairways were so wide. There was no challenge to them, so I don't know. I mean, the course was designed for CC. I don't know what you were intending to with Rasputin, but I mean, I think that's the thing about this being video game golf is people are just going to shoot low. Like, I think I don't know. I still want to make a course that's challenging to people, but I feel like every time I do, they complain about something. So I don't know. I've started giving up. Alright, I gotta put down flags in a minute. I don't think I have time for any planting. I think I had time last time, so I think I've taken a step backwards on this. Okay, let's see. One in front, short carry, so that should be able to hold. I'm pretty sure my greens are fairly firm too. One in back. I think I'll probably sculpt this out later, just for a little extra. I don't think that green is... Oh, come on. And then one towards the back here. I think I've got a hill back there. Alright, that should be it. 15-minute par 3. I can't do anything in the next 6 minutes. If I could change something, I would move that middle pin probably closer over here. I've still got to go through and play it, Griff. I have gotten into basketball lately. I've stepped away from the game after designing. But, yeah, I mean, as long as you put out what you wanted to, then I don't think it's an issue. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, so it won't matter. Alright, I didn't spend a whole lot of time actually talking about sculpting things, so if anybody has any questions they'd like me to go over, I can. Other than that, I'm going to... I did! Oh, no! Fail! I was talking too much. See, I always feel like I have to entertain. And I missed light rough, heavy rough. Fail. Oh, even my wife is shaking her head at me, like she knows. No, I think it's real pretty. It's probably the prettiest hole I've done. If anybody wants to fly over, here is what we have so far. I have to remember to save this. I'm not doing this again. No. I gotta 30 minutes to go back and fix everything. Okay, so hole 1. No amnesty. I'm just a failure. Hole 2. Hole 3 with pothole bunkers. And the reach around to hole 4. That's right, the reach around. I'm going to go ahead and test these pin positions, see how terrible they are, and then I'm going to go ahead and log off on this wonderful eclipse August 21st. Yeah, that high rock, I don't know, I really like this limestone look. I think I might design in this next, but I really like that high limestone look there. I think I might bring that high rough back. I don't know, the main goal of this was just to kind of show people that they can... I think a lot of people are just intimidated by the designer and how much time it takes, but... hopefully people can realize that if you do get good at it, it can get quick. These greens are like molasses. Hopefully this should be a pretty decent one when it's done. I'm gonna restart my, might even start tomorrow. I'm gonna restart my one-hole design tutorial. I've learned some things since the first one, so I should be able to give some better advice. And I can tailor it to TGC2 this time, but I think I'm gonna kick that off tomorrow. The original videos, I think, have over 7,000 views on YouTube, so hopefully I help somebody. There's really no excuse if you're a starting designer, if you know where to find the videos. Scarpacci's got videos out, Tay's got video out, Griff is constantly streaming. Well, that was crap. No, they don't. No way. You gotta have more than that. It's a shame if you don't. You need a better publicist. if you guys had to do a top 5 in this game right now, who would you throw up there? I actually don't know what my whole top 5 is, but I think Scarpacci definitely be in there. I honestly don't know beyond that. There's just too many good ones. I really got used to this new swing. I'm off. Way off. That was one of the better ones I've had. There really are, and there's a lot of good... Like, I honestly am not a huge fan of RCRs, but I understand the time it takes to do them. So I could, like, CLV, Craig, I think is his name. Like, I wouldn't put him in my top 5 just because I don't really care for RCRs that much, but I can appreciate that he's very good at what he does. Same thing with Royce. Aces is really good. I just prefer fictional courses. You got P. Yates, you got Todd Driver, you got Griff. Whoa, what even happened there? I looked down. Oh, I would probably have Mike on there. Thunberg. Oh, and yeah, no. I was gonna say the same thing. Arctic Fury courses are not for me. I just the planting is impressive. I can appreciate what he does, but yeah, the courses are, I don't know, a little lackluster to me. Not lackluster. That's not the right word. That's way too close to the pin. That's too easy to chip in from there. He says as he misses it. Alright guys, thanks for the talk. That wraps it up. None of those pins were that bad. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this turns out to be after 9 holes. Kind of liking what it is so far too. So, oh, Set My Path is really good too. Yep. I always forget about him. He does a really good job of mixing up the planting with the playability of the course. But I don't know. It's a great community we have, and I love being a part of it. I just love design. So, all right, guys, I'm signing off. Y'all have a good one. Thank you. I will see some of you next week. Deuces.